Well, good afternoon, and thanks again for joining us. Ariel's going to go over the provider packet and the various forms that we have with you, and um, and I'll have this on the page that has the webinars by tomorrow. If you have any questions, you can use the chat. And thank you for being a part. Bye bye. Go ahead, Ariel.
Thank you. Welcome again to another practice management and billing webinar. This topic that we have chosen today, I felt is important because I have been seeing some of these forms used at the incorrect time. So we wanted to go ahead and spread some insight on when to use them and why. That way you make sure your practice is covered. Just a quick review. As always, your claim checklist should be completed by the E0486 claim request. Incomplete claims checklist will result in a delay in me processing your claim. Use the same checklist from your new patient exam and continue completing the form for E0486. Make sure you are also reviewing medical records sent to your office prior to seeing your patient. This will help you determine what you are missing if you have your patient that has qualified for insurance coverage, and so much more. Most carriers do not accept an RDI. The AHI needs to be 5 or above for coverage. Patient demographics in Dental Writer should be completed prior to claim submissions. This should be completed before you are seeing your patient. Medical insurance information needs to be in Dental Writer. I cannot file for dental insurance. Please review this prior to claims requests being submitted to me. Right here, one of the first items that you should make sure that you have when you are getting ready to see your patient is the Texas Dental Sleep Services prescription form and also your CPAP intolerance form. These are located in your provider packet, and this will be customized with your provider's information. Right here, you're ready to see your new patient exam. Before you see the patient, you should have them sign a HIPAA form, acknowledgement form, and also financial responsibility form. I like to print the completed online patient questionnaire that they completed in Dental Writer and add these two forms to the back for the patient to sign. The HIPAA signature form informs the patient of their rights to privacy, the release of information regarding treatment, financial responsibility, and so much more. The statement of financial responsibility informs the patient that they are ultimately responsible for payment. Insurance is filed as a courtesy, office policies, and more. Please note that this example for the next two that you will see is something that we use here in Dr. Dunbar's practice. We are working on getting them into your provider packet. Right here, this is a general HIPAA statement where your patient acknowledges that they need to sign and why they are signing and what this is for. I do have them sometimes sign online when they complete their forms, but just because we were not there to see them sign it, I do have them sign these here in office. This patient responsibility or financial responsibility form is the one located in your provider packet. This is the patient financial obligations and authorization. The next form is here what we use in Dr. Dunbar's practice. And this is just stating you are ultimately responsible. The patient is also informed that we file insurance as a courtesy. So there's a lot of information in here that I think is important. Your good faith estimate. This is something I do like to include also for the patient to sign before their consultation. The good faith estimate is a good tool to use in your practice for your patient to know what their out-of-pocket costs is. The good faith estimate provides the amount we are billing out to the carrier, the estimated insurance payment, and the patient estimated out-of-pocket for services. This requires a patient signature that they acknowledge and also a witness signature. This helps the patient understand and acknowledge that the treatment is not a guarantee of payment and they are ultimately responsible. The good faith estimate is completed by me, Ariel, and I upload it into the patient's chart or fax, and this will be provided upon request after your verification of benefits have been completed. This is a copy of the good faith estimate. I will warn you that this is the outdated copy. We do have a new version that we are working with, so I do need to get that updated on there. But this will just tell you this has the patient's name, the date of birth, the estimated total cost of treatment, insurance coverage, the patient responsibility, and also the diagnosis code we will be using for claims. And this will also be customized to your practice. Your VA assignment of benefits form. This has been a requirement since November 2024. This needs to be signed by the veteran at the initial consultation. Please make sure that you have this, as this is a required form by the VA. Informed consent for treatment of snoring and obstructive sleep apnea with oral appliances. During the consultation and the patient is interested in moving forward in the oral appliance therapy, the informed consent needs to be signed by the patient with an employee witness signature. The informed consent informs the patient of the risks of treatment, the cancellation policy for the oral appliance and appointments, office policies, 90 days of treatment, replacement policies, and so much more. Please make sure that someone in your practice is well versed in this document in case something may arise. Right here, I did include the first page and last page only. This is about a 5 to 6 page document. So I would have someone assigned in your practice just to read and review this document just for their knowledge. That would be a good thing to know. For the informed consent here in Dr. Dunbar's practice, we do like to have 2 separate packets for the informed consent. One would be for your regular commercial policies, and the other one would be for your Medicare patients. Even if this includes, say, a United Healthcare Medicare, Aetna Medicare, Blue Cross Medicare, your traditional Medicare, you would need to have the informed consent, your TDSS oximeter loan form, and the oral appliance warranty. That is what is needed for the commercial policies. For your Medicare policies, you would want to have your informed consent with the oximeter form, oral appliance warranty, and also the Medicare oral appliance standard and information. So we like to have 2 packets ready to go, one already ready for commercial and one specifically designated for Medicare patients. Just add all of these forms together and staple it after your patient decides to agree to go forward with treatment. Just have them sign it all at once. Right here, these are also provided in your provider packet, the oximeter loan form and oral appliance warranty. This would need to be in the provider packet just so the patient is aware of what is going on and what they are agreeing to. Right here is a copy of the Medicare oral appliance standard and information. This is just Medicare requirements for oral appliance coverage that the patient would be signing. Your advanced beneficiary notice of non-coverage, which is your ABN form. This form is only used for Medicare patients who have had a piece of DME covered within the last 5 years. Or they may have upper airway resistance syndrome and do not qualify for coverage. Or maybe your patient just wants to opt out of insurance filing and maybe save their DME claim for something else. I have had that happen before. So you would just have the patient sign, letting them know we are not filing that with insurance due to the reason why. Once the patient has completed their new patient exam and they are ready to check out, the patient needs to be given this form, which just lets them know again, and you would have something in writing that we would not be filing that with insurance. We have included here in your provider packet the super bill. Once you have seen your patient and you want to let them know what you have done during your exam, you can just check this off with the patient's name and bring this up to the front desk, or however you may incorporate this into your practice on how you let patients know. You may have the capability of just doing everything in the room, so you may not need this, but this is also good as this communicates from the back to the front what is going on. That way everyone is informed. I have also included here, and this is in your claims request and checklist PDF that you have received from me. Dr. Dunbar and Eric have come together to create a checklist to make sure you have all necessary information for your SOAP notes. So make sure you are reviewing this and that your SOAP notes meet this criteria. Ready to file your claim? After your exam or delivery of the appliance, or it also could be your recall visits, the claim request form and claims checklist need to be completed and sent to me. This can be done by emailing me, letting me know what patient chart number is ready for filing, or you can also email it to me. And then I need to have this done within 7 days from the date of service. Please do not wait any longer than that. Right here is a copy of the claim checklist and request form. Right here, you would fill out all of the necessary information. And we do have a billing webinar about this. If you have not had a chance to review it, you can go over there and review this. Delivery of the oral appliance. The proof of delivery needs to be completed the day the patient leaves your office with the appliance in their hands. This is the date that insurance will be looking for. This date needs to correlate with the date on your claim request form for oral appliance delivery. If you attempt a delivery and the patient does not leave the office with the appliance in hand, do not have them sign a proof of delivery. Use the proof of delivery when the patient leaves your office with the appliance in hand. Please make sure you are adding the CMS approved sticker and the sticker from the lab. Some carriers require this, such as United Healthcare. Dr. Dunbar, would you like to explain the CMS sticker and laboratory FDA sticker? We can't hear you. Is your mic on?
Off. Now it's off. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. A couple of things I want to go over. One with the proof of delivery, yes. We have, and we're going to be providing this with y'all for our vendor labs. I've obtained the CMS sticker that has the required information on it. Basically, what these carriers are wanting to know is that it is a CMS approved appliance and they want to see proof of it, which would be, of course, the name of the appliance, the manufacturer, there's a code, and then also the date of approval. So we have all that, and we'll be getting that out to y'all. A couple of the other things, just for information's sake, I've been doing this since 1995, and needless to say, School of Hard Knocks, like the super bill. The reason the super bill is there is that last year or the year before last, we were having patients, you're at the chair, the patient asks how much it is. Someone will come in and say it's X number of dollars. Then the patient goes up front and they go, well, the doctor said it wasn't going to be that much, or the doctor said it was going to be this fee. So we established the super bill so that the patient understands it's in writing. And then this way it takes care of things. As far as the informed consent, there are a lot of informed consents that are out there. The reason I use this one is that it has survived being before the state board twice and potential lawsuits twice, because needless to say, over 30 years bringing Keith Thornton and I basically brought the field to the state of Texas 30 years ago. So I've had a lot of ups and downs with things, but the last, when I was before the state board once, I've won all of them, but I went ahead and took my informed consent to an attorney, had him write it up. And the last issue with the state board, I was represented by Medical Protective, and their attorney, after reading the informed consent, asked if she could actually use my informed consent for her office for other dentists. So I can't guarantee anything, but they're at a pretty high level and they've passed everything at this point. So yes, make sure you do have that sticker. Most labs, I do know Airway Management provides that sticker to show that it's an FDA approved item. So that's something between you and the lab. So as I said, Airway Management always provides that, but we do have to provide our own CMS sticker. But if you're using Dynaflex or NDX Keller, they should be providing that also. If they don't, then just get on the phone and talk to them about it. They should be providing that for you. I think that's about got it covered.
Thank you. Forms given to the patient at the delivery appointment. When you have finished delivering your appliance and the proof of delivery is signed, the patient needs to be given instructions on what to do if they are in pain and how to take care of the appliance. The following includes a home care instructions for your oral appliance and steps to take should you experience discomfort. I have uploaded here.
Ariel,
Go ahead.
jump in here real quick. One thing that's very important is that some carriers only require PDAC approved appliances only that they will cover. So you've got to make sure that you're doing a PDAC approved appliance. For United Healthcare, you cannot use an EMA. Now, I've had cases where I always provide patients with 2 appliances. I like the tap system. If for some reason, and 2 or 3 times a year, a patient will say they can't handle a tap, but we did deliver a PDAC approved appliance. If I then go to an EMA, I provide that to them free of charge. And most people are then happy with EMA, but I have followed through with the PDAC approved appliance. So Medicare, VA, TRICARE, because they follow Medicare guidelines, United Healthcare, all require PDAC approved appliances. I have no idea about the K codes, but I don't believe those would be considered PDAC approved. Back to you, Ariel.
Thank you. So this is your home care instructions. This is also located in your provider packet, along with these steps to take should you experience discomfort. And this would all be something that is customizable to your practice. This right here is guidelines for OSA patients undergoing dental treatment. This could be considered as your letter to the dentist. Just let them know what is going on and how to approach treatment with also patients using oral appliances. Dr. Dunbar, you have anything to say about this one?
This is exceptionally important. Right now, I'm in the middle of having to deal with an issue. I've got a patient with severe apnea. He's a kidney transplant with GERD, and high blood pressure. He went it's a new appliance. Since we seated it, he went to his dentist, and the dentist, they had the information, the letter in the chart, but the dentist didn't read it and went to adjust the appliance, broke the seal on the triple laminate material, which therefore it's not going to last 5 years. And this is something now that I'm trying to run a little interference for the patient, but this is the dentist's responsibility. You're going to end up treating a lot of other dentist patients. And so I always inform the patient, whenever you change dentists, please let us know so we can forward that letter, because I have had dentists ruin the appliance and then they'll send it back and go, well, it's yours, Dr. Dunbar. Here, why don't you just make her a new one? Well, it doesn't work that way, because this is an order that you've provided the patient to their provider, dental provider, asking them in a nice way that we need to work as a team. So it's really important with this. And one other point, realize all your patients essentially are sleepy. So you're going to have an awful lot of issues over time with patients going, well, you never told me that, et cetera. So this is the reason why you see these forms here, And we organize them for you because this is basically school of hard knocks of what I've gone through over the last 30 years. I'm trying to save y'all, or TDS is trying to save y'all a lot of heartache with some of these issues that will definitely, it's not that they won't, they will. It just depends on when. Okay.
And just make sure that you are writing this out to the dentist that your patient is seeing. This form may not apply if this patient is already a dental patient in your practice.
I always forward this along with the SOAP letter to their dentist. That way I've included them, no different than any of the other physicians that are involved. But yeah, I send the letter to the dentist and the SOAP letter to each dentist at the time we impress and start treatment.
This next form is also located in your provider packet. It is called Appliance Repair Agreement. This is just an agreement in place, just letting the patient know, hey, you are ultimately responsible for this repair cost. Insurance will not cover this. And this does have a specific dollar amount listed on here. So that way it correlates and the patient was informed before this was completed. And this is also something that would match what is from or stated inside the back office to the front office. That way the patient cannot say, well, that's not what they told me. We've had instances like that. Am I right, Dr. Dunbar?
This is where this should match the super bill. And this is what I was saying, where a patient will come up front and say, well, Dr. Dunbar didn't tell me it was going to be that much. So before we do any repairs, et cetera, that are a cash item, my assistant Sharice goes in and explains it to them and has them sign it.
Yes. So as I was stating earlier too, it is always a good point to make sure someone in your practice is up to date and knowledgeable in your provider packet. That way there's no miscommunication between your office or the patient or vice versa. It is clearly stated in the agreements that they signed. Request for services. We did discuss this in one of our previous billing webinars, so I'm just briefly discussing it today. You will need to complete a request for services form at any recall visits, or you may need a new appliance for your patient. This needs to be uploaded into HSRM and inform your VA contact that this is ready to go. They will send it to the referring provider for review. Do not see your patient if you do not have a new referral. For more information, please review the previous webinar. Just some general notes. Please note that your provider packet is customizable and reflect your practice information in the header and footer. The HIPAA and Statement of Financial Responsibility forms shown at the beginning is not part of your TDSS provider packet. This is solely used in Dr. Dunbar's practice. We are working on adding them to your provider packet. Please note that we are also working on updating and making changes to some of these forms to keep them up to date and current. Thank you for your time. Do we have any questions?